Welcome to Bologna. It's Saturday, the 28th of October 2017, and we're here for a long weekend. I'm pretty much standing here in the centre of the city, and it's Saturday morning, so it's quite buzzy. Everyone's out and about. It's a small city, and we've been relishing it over the last few days. That goes towards one of the major piazzas where I will take you in a minute. That's the Piazza Maggiore, and this is one of the main streets, and that's one of the two towers there where I will shoot at a closer proximity. So let's take you all to Piazza Maggiore. So the Neptune statue, it unfortunately we can't see because it's going through some much required renovation, so looks like we have to come back one day to take a look at it, and we are walking towards the main square or Piazza Maggiore now. It's a lovely autumn's morning. It is mild, even though you can see a couple of ladies wearing their coats, but I find it still quite mild. We've been really blessed with great weather. So Bologna is an ancient city. We came to see primarily two things. One, the architecture, and the university, which is the world's oldest. And yes, it's not Oxford, but the University of Bologna, founded at 1088, is the oldest running university in the world. So here we are at the Piazza Maggiore. It's the main hangout place, and on a Saturday morning it is rather crowded. So just to give you a glimpse of the architecture, that's Bologna. Bologna is described as La Rossa, which is the red, which primarily most of the buildings which you will see are red in colour. La Dotta, which is the learned, reference to the university, and La Grasa, which is famous for its food. It's at the heart of Italian cuisine sits this place, which we will show a bit of that. And La Rossa is not just about the red of the buildings, but it also relates to the politics that surround the university, which is mostly centered and leaning towards the left. So yes, let's explore the city together, and thank you again. The people of Bologna, absolutely adore their food. They're incredibly proud of it, and also it's almost like a second religion to them. That's one of the famous churches. I can't remember the name of it, but we'll try and look up. I'm not that much into buildings, etc. Of course I do take an interest, but not to a point where I have to remember everything, etc. I'm more into soaking up the broader picture and its people and culture. So we're going to go in and explore some of the food scenes. So this is one of the typical maze of lanes in the centre of the city. You can see they love to eat and they eat together. So it's fairly quiet. It's a narrow lane, and it's the lights on offer here. Maybe we will revisit at lunchtime, where the whole atmosphere is absolutely buzzing. So there you go. I think it's people having a late breakfast, but bottles of wine's already out on the table. Okay, the famous pastas, tortellonis and the tortelloni, and the raviolis and pisatellis, and all sorts of things, you know. You've got to be Italian at heart to recognize all these things, but they are very, very serious about their pasta here. Parma's not very, but the gentleman's offering something. Oh, that's delicious. Would you like to say something for my camera? What's that?
Sì.
Grazie.
Prego. Buongiorno. Ecco Alberto.
Scelto?
Ecco qua.
It is Roberto.
Foto.
Alberto.
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 Ciao.
Buongiorno. Ciao. Ciao.
Buongiorno.
Ciao. Ciao. Have a lovely day, mate. Yeah.
Muscolo.
Okay, I can see some cheese here. Let's look at some cheese and pasta. There you go. That's big blocks of Parmesan. That's tortellini, obviously stuffed with various goodness. That's ricotta and spinach there. Speck and radicchio. Radicchio is probably radish, but I don't know what speck is. Anyway, various stuffings. And look at these blocks of Parmesan, and that's a different type. It's all around this region. In fact, Parma is fairly close to where we are. We just might make it. So we have the butchers here. And let's go in. Why not? It's an absolute delight to your senses to see all this. Yeah, the cheeses, the meats, there's some soft cheeses there. I can see some mozzarella. Goodness, that's a pecorino. That's an enormous... There's big blocks of Parmesan. Now we have the fresh fruit and veg. So lots of fennel about. I've seen. Look at those wonderful artichokes. I don't know what they are. Puntagrele. I do just try my best to sound a bit Italian, and I fail miserably. Look at the size of these plums. Absolutely massive. They are massive plums. Look at the tomatoes and grapes, aubergines, beautiful pears, mole meats there. There's a bit of a shop of various nibbles going on. It's obviously quite popular. Let's go in there to see what's happening. It's a butcher's. Very popular with the locals. The gentleman's making something like little bowls of savouries. And we have roast chicken here and roast aubergines, various other little items. A great place to just wander around and have a nibble or just sit around and chill. But there you go, more food surrounding you. Lots of beautiful fresh veg. Probably never been inside any packaging, nor been transported beyond a few miles. Something that is so alien to us in England. There's more fennel there, lots of greens. What are these enormous ones? I'm not quite sure. Oranges still with the leaves. We have a fishmonger here, so we have to see some fish. Okay, let's have a look what's on offer. Grazie. And that's the fishmonger here. Fishmonger's crowded as well, so there's some salted fish, and it's a very busy Saturday morning. They're doing great business. Grazie. Yes. the end of another lane, there's this Mercato di Mezzo. It's a place where people go just to eat. It's like our Oxford's covered market, really. So shall we go in and have a look? Grazie. Again, in the middle, there is places where you sit, and surrounding it are all stalls. This is the Romano Cucina. Buongiorno, signor. Lots of wine, mushrooms. People obviously started having their brunches. All food stalls. This is gourmet food, but you can it's fast gourmet food. You just choose, take a place to sit down, have your glass of wine, and chill out with your friends, and off you go. Now, absolute paradise for a foodie like me. Oh, there's some drinks bar there. Oh, this looks interesting. Lots of little nibbles on the go if you fancy something. This is not the peak hour. Oh, we finally have some sweets here. So that's the Marcata. Well, I'm at in front of Melega, which is the well-known sort of butchers come, grocers come, everything. There you go, a little pick at the windows. Candied fruits. The Italians are very good at it, and I've seen them, the Sicilians particularly, they're pretty awesome. Then we have fruits preserved in syrups, lots of jams, etc. The balsamic vinegar from Modena, all the olive oil, the champagne of olive oils, I suppose, being displayed here. Let's look at the other window, which all the Bolognese styles of pasta, sausages, and obviously cheeses. And let's go in, shall we, for a quick one. All different kinds of pasta, various colours. It's a delight to your senses, really. Mulled veg, there's wines, and there's Parma hams hung out there. That's the butcher's counters. Again, a very busy Saturday morning business. Well, when I say they take their food really seriously, look at the crowd waiting to be served at this fishmonger's. Look at this crowd. Look at this crowd waiting to be served. That's an enormous one there. I don't know what it is, but if you love your fish like I do, yes, fish is a big deal and an equally important part of their daily diet. So the place smells of fish, this particular lane. There's fishmonger number 2, and let's have a look at his fares.
Dimmi tutto, questo vale 1 kg, 1 kg e mezzo.
This is very Bolognese, I've been told. It's torta di riso, which is a sweet rice cake that's very typical of this region. And these are all very, very local tarts and cakes. Just a quick look in. No, we won't, because it's just an endless amount of the same stuff. Making it one more of the 2 towers, and the heart of Bologna for you. This is probably the busiest part of the city, and yes, nice easy flow about the place. I think cyclists, there's no cars here on this particular street, and I can't even see any buses, so good. So here's my lunch sitting at the steps of the main cathedral, and there you go. I've chosen a massive potato croquet and some spinach and pork fillet in some ciabatta, and that should sort me out till evening, I think. It's surrounded by so much of food, you constantly want to eat, particularly if you're greedy as I am. Come back. So we're at the Piazza Santo Stefano, or the St. Stephen's Place. It's also called the Place of Seven Churches. The church you see in front, it's got seven individual churches in there, and one of the main attractions of Bologna. And this particular square is probably my most favourite one, but I do have to admit I saw it in their peace and quiet of virtually not in a quarter of the number of people here, which has slightly diminished the ambience with which I enjoy. You see the Rossa, or the red, of the Bolognese architecture. It's quite evident. So that's the church. Let me slowly turn around for you. So, La Rossa and Piazza dos Santo Stefano. It's quite a bit of a juxtaposition of running into a group of young musicians playing Hey Jude earlier, and that makes the world beautiful. So it's Arrivederci from Piazza Santo Stefano in Bologna. Horace Digni Astenelli, again probably murdering the language, but it's the oldest medieval tower in the world, and this is at the heart of Bologna. In fact, there are two towers next to it. You probably can see that's clearly leaning. Probably not as dramatically as the one in Pisa. So you can climb the 500 odd steps or something. It's just under 100 meters high, and you can get spectacular views of Bologna, I have heard. So maybe this evening, and yes, I will decide later. So we are now heading towards the university area, and we will take some more from there. Another view of the towers, you can clearly see the one to the right, it's leaning. And another interesting thing about Bologna is these porticos, these arches. They are absolutely everywhere. There are hundreds of miles of these all around the city to protect the people of Bologna from rain and sun. So all over the place you would see these porticos. Yeah. More of La Rossa, and you can clearly see this is a little street that I'm walking down, which should take me to the university area, Absolutely beautiful, and you can really feel how ancient it is. To name a few, Copernicus, Dante, Marconi, they were all educated there. Grazie. And yes, there's this square we're heading to. It's called Piazza Vardi, which is the central hangout place of the students. And around that area, probably around a few square miles, are all the departments of the University of Bologna. So in a while we will speak to you from Piazza Vardi, and I think I'm hungry for a bite to eat and a cup of coffee as well. Thank you. Well, heading towards the University Square through ancient streets, and very, very pretty, quite distinctive, very Italy, of course. So a gentleman just told me that I am heading towards the right direction, so it should emerge in the next minute, so let's hang on. Oh yes, it does say Piazza Verdi, Giuseppe Verdi, so we are at the right place. So this is the main sort of Radcliffe Square of Bologna, if you like, where all the students hang out, and the departments are scattered all over the place. I know there's Latin and languages here, economics somewhere here, and further down it was law, chemistry, biology, and there's some incredible frescoes there. We'll try and show you some in that school of oratory. So this is it, University of Bologna, Bologna la Dotta, or Bologna the Learned. So it's kind of scattered and sort of many streets of this. So let's grab a coffee and take it. There's some more of La Rossa. Another shot of a very, very busy Saturday afternoon in Bologna. But contrary to what you see here, I can assure you it is a very non-touristy place. They're all locals who have come out. Of course, there are a few tourists, but it is very, very cheap. I mean, not very reasonable compared to Paris, Milan, or Rome, or Florence. So you can have a fantastic meal for a tenner. So do visit if you can. It's a lovely city, absolutely charming, and classic Italy, and it's a hidden gem. One more of the two towers, and the heart of Bologna for you. This is probably the busiest part of the city, and yes, nice, easy flow about the place. I think cyclists, there's no cars here on this particular street, and I can't even see any buses, so good little moment in the street, rather endearing, I thought. There's a monk sitting and probably giving counsel to people. Interesting, yeah, lovely, peaceful face, bless him. Gosh, the crowd's building by the minute, so it's getting even busier. As I say, for the first couple of days we did see it was very quiet, very peaceful. Obviously people come out enjoying their weekend. So off for me to have a bite to eat, find my wife Jane, who's at a different part of the city exploring. So we have a time and a place that we've agreed to meet, and I hope we got backup plans if we get lost, which has happened before. Hopefully not today. This is the view from top of the tower in the center of Bologna, which we have climbed up, and this is what is La Rossa, or the red as it's referred to. So we climbed roughly about 500 steps to get here, along with a few other intrepid souls. So it's been quite an experience. So I was walking by and cannot leave this by. This is pasta making going on live. Some music playing. She's making a very small type of pasta. Haven't got a clue what it is. Might be tortellini, tortellini, tagliatelle, tagliolini. There's a dozen of these, and each one, I can assure you, is taken very, very seriously. There she is. She takes a strip. And that's the counter there. It's also a working cafeteria and bakery. There you go. Japanese tourists, very happy with their souvenir with a young Italian musician. They're taking a bit of a rest. This is Bologna in the morning, and we've been up there. Well, we basically followed some people and walked into this. It's what we call a Saturday Mass in the centre of town. To the Piazza Maggiore early evening, just to see the scene in the evening lights. So I can tell you it is beautiful. There's still a bit of light in the sky, and let me stand there and show you the whole picture. Very impressive, very beautiful evening. Back at the two towers at night. So it's good evening to you all from Bologna. Do visit if you can. You will not regret it. It is truly beautiful. And it's a bit of a hidden gem in the north of Italy. Takes a 2 hours flight, and you're into the heart of a very ancient and a very, very beautiful city. So take care and have a lovely evening or morning or night wherever you are. Arrivederci a Bologna.